Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And this is quite the episode. A little longer, a lot of stuff happening. Well, we open with Wednesday rooting through Enid's closet, putting on brightly striped sweater, sparkly tights and shoes, putting on makeup, eyeshadow. And then she goes out and she's hugging everybody and dancing and freaking everybody out. Like, what happened to her? Then we jump back 16 hours, where we get the aftermath of last episode, in which the sheriff and Principal Dort are in his office with Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday and Enid, going over this whole thing with Tyler and his mom. And basically, Morticia says they've left. It's nothing for you to worry about anymore. I believe her. Wednesday doesn't. And she's making it her mission to track them down. So, problem with this: Dort is instigating a curfew. Anyone that breaks it will not be able to go to the festival, and Enid's been practicing her ballet for that festival. Now, Weems tells Wednesday that her vision of Enid's death has not changed, and the only way she can get her psychic powers back, she's going to have to come to terms with who she actually is. She's going to have to become vulnerable. She's going to have to stop lying to her mother. She's going to have to fix that relationship with her mother. Now, Wednesday's going to do a workaround. And she goes to talk to Orloff. And here she realizes from talking to him that not only is Slurp Isaac is Tyler's uncle. And it turns out that his mother didn't exactly tell the truth to Morticia. She hasn't left. They're in a bunker that the late Sheriff Gilpin had built for her when she got out of control. And now she's got Tyler chained until she can become his master, even though he not really doesn't want to be a master. And she's starting to cough up blood. We'll get into that later. Now, Professor Capri talks to Enid about her wolfing out on a crescent moon, and looking at some of the other things, her being a late bloomer, as it were, and was under immense stress that she finally wolfed out. And these are signs that she could be an alpha, which Enid doesn't like to hear, because traditionally alphas don't have a pack. They are basically lone wolves. And she says, no, that's not necessarily true. We don't always have to be alone. So Capri is a werewolf, which does help explain the whole thing of her being attracted to a high, but we won't go into that. Okay. Wednesday goes to see Grandmama. She wants to find Tyler and his mother, and she needs her psychic abilities. Well, Grandmama tells her about Rentwood, who she had gone to school with. She was a psychic raven like no other. And they say that if you go to her grave in the Nevermore cemetery and repeat what is on the headstone. And if you can pass her test, you will be given temporary psychic abilities. And, but, beware. There's always a price to pay for these things. So Wednesday better be sure before she does this. Now, of course, this means Wednesday's going to have to sneak out after curfew. And then when Enid finds out they're doing bed checks, she rushes after. Now, psychically, Wednesday is transported to the seance room of Brentwood's house, which is where Morticia is staying. And she's given her test. She has to put her hand over her lit flame until Brentwood tells her to stop, no matter how much pain there is. If she breaks contact, there will be a payback, and she might not survive. Well, Wednesday does it, but Enid, who's rushing to get her so that they don't get in trouble, interrupts the challenge. While the challenge has been going on, she gets a vision of Tyler and his mother. She looks scared, and he looks like he's about to hide out. As it were, Hulk out, hide out. But then Enid touches her, things broken, and they both collapse. When they wake up the next day, they are back in their rooms. Only Enid is in Wednesday's body, and Wednesday is in Enid's body. Well, Wednesday's going to have to go out and figure out what to do about this. They're just going to have to pretend to be each other, which is completely difficult. Enid also finds out that that whole thing from last season about Wednesday being allergic to color, it's true. Enid gets her usual rainbowy latte, and after downing it, she gets a rash. Morticia finds her, who she doesn't want to, and she gives her some beeswax with cemetery, or I should say mortuary ash mixed in with some other things, and gives her mushroom pills that she's supposed to be taking every day. That clears everything up. And she's fine as long as she avoids color. And she also tells her she's coming to where they're staying for dinner, her, Pugsley, and Gomez. And there is no argument on this. She's already gotten permission from Principal Dort. Now, Weems tells Wednesday, who can still see her even though she's in a different body, that she only knows of one instance where a body swap happened. And only until dawn of this coming dawn, they have to fix it. The only other time she's known this happened, they died when they couldn't fix it. So they're on a time clock. Let's see. Isaac finds the bunker and goes down there. Proves his bona fides to his sister. She's happy. And tells her that his machine that blew up was originally created to help her. Because, you see, every time a hide changes to a hide, they get a little weaker in their human state until eventually they will die. And his mother is dying. That's why she's coughing up blood. She's actually lived longer than most hides. Well, there is a machine at Willoughby. Of course, they were using it to give outsider powers or abilities to normies. Well, he can use it to cure her. He just needs to get a power source, and so he's got to go meet an old friend for that. Don't like what he said it. Let's see where we go from here. Machine. Okay. Wednesday runs into Capri and she finds out about Enid being an alpha. And then she goes to where her mother is staying and starts investigating. She finds the old seance room and begins looking around and finds some novels, romantic novels, and a working manuscript. And she realizes her mother, like herself, writes novels, only where Wednesday does dark mysteries, she does dark romance. Such pap, as Wednesday would have it. She runs into her mother, and her mother suspects Wednesday sent her there to spy on her, and she lets Wednesday know she has to come to the dinner tonight. No argument. And Wednesday says, yeah, okay, I'll tell her. Oh, and she does tell her, or she finds that, has this happen? And she is informed by the spirit of Brentwood, before her mother shows up, that in order to reverse this, she has to be willing to die in the body she's in. And she also has to learn about the life of the person they are inhabiting. Oof. And she only has till dawn. So, Enid finds Wednesday's novel, and her latest novel, and she's flipping through it and finds out how Wednesday really sees Enid as being an incipient, shallow clout chaser, basically. This so infuriates her that we now flip back to the beginning where she puts on her own clothes, makes herself up, goes out and dances in front of everybody, and they're all taking selfies, and then she breaks down in this massive thing of hives. Wednesday comes upon her and she's not happy. Later, after Enid's all better, she's reviewing the footage that's been put online and says, worth it. Well, Enid comes upon Bruno, or I should say Wednesday comes upon Bruno, Enid's boyfriend, and because she can speak several languages, realize he's got a girlfriend back home. He's two-timing Enid, telling her it was his mother that's always calling. But because Wednesday understands it, she breaks up with Bruno, rather savagely too. This is observed by Agnes, who then goes to tell Wednesday. So she tells all this to Enid, and Enid's furious that Wednesday broke up with her boyfriend, or broke her up with her boyfriend, and lays into Agnes. And Agnes is confused by this. This isn't how Wednesday normally acts. She comes upon a therapy group therapy, that Thing is attending, run by Dr. Orloff. It seems the rest are in there with body parts. They're just body parts, and so you're not just the sum of your parts. You are whole unto yourself. Yeah, and Agnes sits in, and all are welcome. And she feels better after it, because she's always felt unseen. Ironic, she's invisible, but even when visible, she's not seen, but they see her, even if they don't have eyes. Meanwhile, at the dinner, Morticia plans to have it out with Wednesday, and then Morticia can see Weems. And Weems explains there's been a body swap, and then Morticia realizes, oh, that's Enid. Oh, you poor thing. And also finds out that Wednesday's been locked in the kennel by Professor Capri because she can't be out at night if she's going to be changing automatically, not on a full moon. So Morticia says, you've got to go get Wednesday. You got to free her, and then you've got to fix this. Okay, so she heads off to let Wednesday out of the kennel. While this is happening, Isaac goes to see Dr. Orloff after the group therapy session. And the contrivance Dr. Orloff uses is actually based on Isaac's invention. And he removes the power source from it, which basically causes Dr. Orloff to die because it also it powers the whole thing, so that's how he breathes. But don't worry, he's not going to let his brain go to waste. And Agnes comes back. She wanted to talk to him about something and sees Isaac eating Orloff's brain and turns invisible. This is bad. He then returns to the car where Tyler and his mother are waiting, and before they leave they hear something. So Tyler goes to check it out, and he sees that the trunk is open. So he pulls it open, looks in, just Judy's body. So he closes the lid, locking it. Agnes was invisible and she's in the trunk. So as they're heading out, using her GPS on her phone, she texts this information to Wednesday and Enid. Okay, they're heading to Willoughby. So they're going to head after her. Now, they get there first, of course. And they get the machine set up, get it powered, and they're going to get it all powered up. At which point, Tyler senses Agnes, catches her, locks her in her room, and shuts the door. He will take care of her later. She's got a brain. Isaac needs to feed. Well, Enid and Wednesday have shown up, and they've seen Agnes get locked in. So, when Tyler and his uncle go into the exam room where the machine is, where her mother is on a gurney getting ready to be treated, they sneak in to the thing and they start to free Agnes. And Tyler, again, having sensed this, shows up. And Enid and Wednesday start to fight with him, and Wednesday kicks him out, and the strain starts her to change. So she tells Enid and Agnes to get out, and they do, and then Tyler locks the door with Wednesday still in there. But she's changed into a werewolf, and it doesn't take her long to smash out of the cell. And she is attacking Tyler, and Tyler's going to change into a hide. His mother begs him not to, because each change means him closer to dying. Meanwhile, Agnes has gone invisible and flipped all the switches, which causes the machine to start overloading. Wednesday finally lets go of Tyler, and they all escape, and then everybody else escapes right before the big explosion. And after Wednesday switches back, which is a crazy experience for her, she's never been a werewolf before, Agnes has figured out they've body swapped, and she says it's okay. It's all good. I can handle this change. We're still best friends. And Wednesday's like, nope, this is not going to work. And she and Enid go back to the grave. Dawn's coming. They each put their hand on the thing, and they tell what each other has learned about the other. This works. They both pass out. When they wake up, they are themselves again. Wednesday sees Weems and tells Enid she needs to go back and get herself cleaned up. Enid's all for that. Weems tells Wednesday that she's got good news and bad news. The good news: the Enid prophecy is gone. She essentially saw what had happened, and unfortunately, this has led to a new prophecy. And she takes her into the future, where there's this almost destroyed tombstone. All you can see left is the name Adams. Someone in the Adams family is going to die, but she doesn't know who. Whew, what a great ending. What a great episode. The highlight for me is watching the two actresses play the other's character. I haven't seen anything done that well since Michael Shannon and David Tennant did the same thing at the end of the first season of Good Omens, and they do great. In fact, the actress who plays the Enid, she's scarier Wednesday than Wednesday is at some points, and she mastered that not blinking thing. And of course, this gave Ortega the opportunity to just go flat out crying, laughing, being scared, overreacting. She gets to do everything she never got to do playing Wednesday. And you can see they're both having a lot of fun doing this. And of course, now I'm wondering, since the whole thing with Bruno has turned out to be a big fiasco, maybe Ajax has a chance. Unless, of course, he's now starting to bond with Bianca. Who knows? Kind of sad to see Judy finally done. Although, she could be brought back. Who knows? Although I suspect she might not have a brain, so. But, yeah, still disappointed that mystery didn't go all the way through the season. And, of course, we've still got the whole thing with Bianca's mother's mentor, who's still looking for her, and some other unsolved questions. But for me, this has been one of the best episodes. This is the best episode of the season and one of the best episodes of the series, just for the body swap and how well it was done. Really enjoyed that. Really fun episode. Well, until next time, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you then.